Uh-oh, I'm short. 15 is the thing. I'm short 6 cents. I should throw a quarter in there or nothing at all. Noticing today, excuse me, I notice this every day. All the, every younger girl is fucking covered in tattoos. Like, it's so rare to see one without. I saw this girl this morning, and I put the video up. It's like 2 minutes long. And like, when I saw her, I got hit by this weird wave of nostalgia. I'm like, oh, I remember girls like that. There was a time when, that was the old man shit, but a time when, I mean, hardly anybody had tattoos. I first got mine in the early 90s. It was, I think it was pretty much just me, Tommy Lee, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was the only time you saw fucking tattoos. The reason I got them, or I started to get them, was I had a comic book store, and a customer of mine opened up a tattoo shop, and I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. And he'd come in and talk about it, and he always used to offer me to come by and get something. He's like, no, I'll just do it for you just for free, it won't cost anything. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I want. And I think it was like it's only a couple times he asked me, and then the next time I'm like, yeah, I'll go do that. So what I did is I picked out Death from Sandman, the little goth character that's supposed to be the embodiment of death. The Sandman comic book series is written by a guy named Neil Gaiman, and he has different parts of the human condition represented by characters who are based on different figures from the goth sort of post-punk rock scene of the 80s in the UK. You can go down the line and look at the different characters. Death herself is sort of a Susie Sue amalgamation with with another friend of his that he knew from the goth scene, and who she looks just like, or is drawn just like. So it's like a Susie Sue and his friend. It's more like his friend, and she died like 2 years ago. So of course, when they make the Netflix adaptation, do they get pale goth girl? No, they get the black girl, of course, which is fine. But like, there's black goth girls. You know, I got some on my Instagram. They didn't even like do that. They just get some regular like black girl. Looks like she works at the HR department for Home Depot or something. You know, it looks like she should have a clipboard. I don't even think she has a tank top on. So I was probably considered too fucking male gazy or something. I knew something was up when they released that cast photo, and everybody had their goddamn pronouns, and I'm like, it's not for me then. Again, this modern entertainment isn't for me. You know, the thing is, it's not for anybody. You know, they always say, they love saying that. Well, it's not for you, chud. It's like, well, it's not for me. It's not fucking anybody. So yeah, this would have been nice to have someone that looked like his friend. Nice tribute to her, but I don't know, whatever. He has to get the money, and to get the money, you have to completely tank your IP. And like, now, who wants to touch that thing now? They made a terrible fucking show. Nobody watched it. It didn't get a second season. And it wasn't just her that looked awful. The kid that played Sandman too, he was like a kid. He didn't look like this ancient being. And I know, you know, he's not supposed to be like super like old or anything, but he's supposed to have like a sort of, you know, he looked like Andrew Garfield. He looked like emo Andrew Garfield. It was fucking terrible. I didn't even watch it. Anyway, yeah, the first tattoo I got was Death. There she is. Kind of, can you see it? Yeah, right there. That's the first one. And what I noticed, and I remember getting it at the time, everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you got a tattoo? Why? And I'm like, excuse me, I'm like, I don't know, you know? Which is usually what I say to my wife when I'm talking in the bathroom. To myself. What are you talking about? I don't know. But, yeah, the first thing I noticed after I got it was I started looking at the rest of my arm. Like, there's just a lot of real estate there. It is addictive. Like, once you get one, you know, you get another. It's not fucking fun. Like, I know some people, like, you know, talk about how they like the feel of the tattoo. They're fucking retarded. I mean, it's not unbearable or anything, obviously. And another female, they're covered in tattoos. Not that there's anything bad with women tattoos. That's fine. It's just that they all have them now. It's almost like, I don't know. Like back when I was a younger man, this shit sucks. Like, who cares? I'm old, and I'm talking about old stuff, but it's still just, it's an interesting marker of how, like, society has changed quite a bit. You know, I mean, and the proliferation of tattoo culture. I was never interested in the culture. Like, there's nothing that interests me less than if people want to, like, stop it to talk to me about them. It's like, that doesn't happen anymore now that everybody has them. But back in the old days, you know, you'd be pumping gas and like, hey, where'd you get your work? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, but yeah, you'd never see women with tattoos. Now it's like standard issue. And that is old man complaint, you know, whatever. It's just that because I'm not in the dating pool anymore. So I don't have any interest. If I was, maybe I'd have a different, maybe I think it's not bad. I mean, it depends on how they do it. You know, and I don't think it's good or bad. I just making a note that everywhere I look, all the women have tattoos. And that's why that girl stood out to me this morning. She looked like an old school sort of girl from when I was young. Well, this whole thing about, a lot of times I come on here and talk about being young, I'm an old man. I don't think about that shit ever, you know, because it's just your body. You know, your body has nothing to do with you. You know, I was thinking the other day about, probably in the bathroom and talking to myself, about the mental health thing and how it's really what I believe to be spiritual health. And the reason they call it mental health is so that you relate these behaviors and or problems to your brain. They want you to relate consciousness and everything that you are to your brain. Because it's very important to them that you think you're all powered by the brain. Because if you don't think that, then you start to think, well, wait a minute, well, what am I then? If my brain's all your brain does, and I'm telling you whatever, I don't, you know, just letting you know, this is, I mean, yes, it is settled science, but also you have to look at this shit yourself. It just runs the mechanical stuff in your body. It helps you walk, it helps you see things, it runs the sort of maintenance mechanical part of your body. It has nothing to do with your thoughts, your dreams, how you love people, what you don't like. That's completely independent of your brain. So when you have problems with these that are related to these kind of things, whether it's like an emotional intelligence or depression or whatever has to do with that mental illness, they want you to think it's your mind doing it. You know, you have mental health. You see a mental health clinician, neurosurgeon, brain scan. Meanwhile, it's got nothing to do with your brain because your brain has nothing to do with you. Your brain runs the suit. It does keep some memory files, it can store them, and it mainly does that to screw with you later. Your brain's not your friend. Your brain does not have your best interest in mind. Your brain, like, it's the whole Dionysus, whatever the other half brain guy is. I haven't listened to the Hemispheres album in a long time, but it's like the good angel thing and the devil. The devil is the brain. The angel is you. You know, the good divinity, and your brain is the fucking devil. It's always fucking around. The example like I use all the time, and forgive me if you've heard it already, but you know, you're trying to cross the street and you see a car come right at you. Now your gut instinct, you, and the reason they call it the gut instinct is because you, the spiritual self of you, the electromagnetic energy, the largest part of that resides for whatever reason in your gut. And that's why when they show draining energy from people's bodies, like the Led Zeppelin guy thing, the Dahmer guy thing, the Podesta guy thing, it's because they're drawing it out of the stomach, because that's where, well, the gut area, that's where they're taking, you know, the spirit out from. That's where the main part of you, how much ever of you is in this body, whether it's being broadcast to here or you're actually inside it, it resides there. And that's why you have gut instinct. And, you know, your gut intelligence is much better than your brain intelligence. Even normie science boys will say that too. But the thing is, it's like people get it mixed up and they think that's their brain, so they go to get mental health help. Oh, but anyway, yeah, the example I always use, crossing the street, car coming at you, your gut is telling you to get the fuck out of the way. Your brain is telling you, no, he's gonna see you, he's not gonna hit you. And your gut's going, dude, he's gonna hit you. And your brain's like, no, he sees me. Look, I'm looking at him. I've been through this 3 times. Been hit by cars 3 times, walking, in this very same way. And every time I don't listen to my gut, I go at my brain. Because the people here are fucking morons. I mean, they're driving these cars. Not everybody, but a good portion of the population is. Like, I'll be locked eyes with this, you know, with the person driving the car, you know. And I'll be like, you know, just kind of talk to them telepathically, like, don't fucking hit me. You see me, why would you keep driving? They're just like, boop, boop, just keep going. What do you do? What do you do? Those aren't real people, you know? That's settled science too. But yeah, your brain will fuck you around big time. You know, and any excuse me. Anyone that's a science-based person would hear that and just like laugh. This guy's crazy. He needs to seek professional help. He needs to see a therapist for his mind. Yeah, because your brain is everything you are. You have to think your brain, for as far as they're concerned, you have to think your brain is everything you are. Because if it's not, then you start saying, well, what am I? And they don't want you thinking that. That's like their whole gig. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you, bud. Yeah, but if they lose that part of the control, then they're fucked, you know? I mean, they're fucked anyway. There's no way around it at this point. There's too much is coming out. Speaking of too much coming out, yeah, the Kanye Jew thing's really heating up. It's still work. It's still a psyop. I think they're just trying to show people on a public scale or whatever what they can do to them if they don't, you know, if the goy doesn't stop questioning them. It's pretty obvious, I think, but it's still fun to watch. You know, because no one's really getting hurt, no one's really getting injured. It's just the beast trying to justify its own existence. I'm just not made for walking in crowds, I guess. I always have to bail out. I just had to bail out of that one. Usually I like to wait till like I get some kind of break, but there is no kind of break in the city. It's like, it's just mitigation, man. It's all about mitigation. That's everything though. Shit, everything's fucking mitigation. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.